Well, good morning. Good morning. How y'all be this Wednesday? If you're watching the replay, go ahead and say hashtag replay. It is a beautiful day in Georgia and I am here for it. Give me all the sun. It's going to be like, I don't know, the perfect amount of 70. You know what I'm saying? So Sunday, wow. It was so interesting because I think Pastor Todd meant to go one way and instead he went a totally different direction. And I just left church. Actually, I was tearing up, borderline sobbing like a baby, just crying. Grateful for my parents, grateful for my upbringing, grateful for the wisdom that has been poured into me since I can remember. Friends, I want us to recognize what we have taken for granted. Okay, so I'm going to share my story this morning, but I know that you have something that can be true for you. So I remember, golly, it might have been 7 to 10 years ago, and I was chatting with a business partner, and she was finding herself in, just some financial hardships. And she's like, Amber, nobody ever taught me how to manage money. Nobody ever taught me that debt was stressful. Nobody ever taught me that budgets are wise. And in that moment, I was just like so baffled because that's all I've ever known is how my parents taught me about money, about discipline, about living under your means, about, always giving to the Lord first because he'll forever take care of you, about saving and making sure that you have not only an emergency fund, but you're investing well. And so on Sunday, Pastor Todd, he was just parenting. He was parenting the congregation. And here's what I want to say to you today is that I want you to not beat yourself up about where you aren't. I want you to sit where you are. I want you to recognize where you want to be. And I want you to truly, and again, I always say this, but like friends, if you need somebody to work with, if you need somebody to help you form a plan, to hold you accountable, to be there with you, like it's worth it. It's worth it. I can't even tell you the amount of money I have spent, me, myself, and I, on coaching. Why? Because I don't know it all, but I know things that I want to attain. I know things that I want and skills I want to acquire and also information that I want to glean. So you have to understand that you can't sit there and beat yourself up about where you aren't. But instead, you have to get clear about where you want to go. And then you actually need to partner with the people who can get you there. Okay? So listen to this is Proverbs 14:23. If you work hard at what you do, great abundance will come to you. So again, think about what you want. Friends, I'm always, forever, 14 years, I have been preaching and teaching about wellness. Okay, you will never regret building healthy habits that benefit your health, your wellness. You will never regret it, okay? But those who, little by little, consistency is key. It's all the stupid, simple things that you hear the people say. But while it's simple, while it's easy, people don't do it. See, if we would stop and we would actually just do the simple and we would do the easy, and we would stick with it, we would watch momentum build and create. You would watch your results come to fruition in front of your eyes. Friends, I literally have sat with people who are at their wits' end. They're done. They look at me. They're exhausted. They're like, Amber, I have zero to give. Zero. Everything around me is falling apart. My life is crumbling and I have no energy to give it. And you know what I do? I sit there and I look at them and say, I hear you, but the one step you have to take is you're just going to get back to the basics. What are the basics? I want you to wake up. I want you to say one sentence that is positive over yourself. And I want you to get moving. Movement and taking a stock in this, your physical frame, breeds not only better mental capacity, it breeds momentum. You will find yourself. Listen, I'm going to coin this phrase. You're going to hear it. You're going to hear it because I'm going to call the ninja mamas. I'm going to rise up some ninja mamas. Let me tell you what a ninja mama is, okay? Now, a ninja mama, and by the way, you may have birthed children and you may have not. It doesn't matter. You're a female, okay? Because I'm going to talk to the females. Not that the males can't have this, but I'm all about let's go, ladies, okay? The ninja mama is one who not only moves, but because of her movement, she watches things fall into place. She watches her house fall into place. She watches her schedule fall into place. She watches her finances fall into place. And because she's a ninja mama, she passes on the knowledge of which she gleans. Because friends, it's not that you have to know everything. It's that you know something and you have something to teach. And if you work hard at what you do, great abundance will come to you. If you work at the little things, little by little, if you just, maybe it's just 10 minutes a day. I don't care. Do you know what my workout was today? 90 seconds. 90 seconds. Now, may I go for a walk later? I might, but Wednesdays and Thursdays don't afford me much time where I get to do what I want to do. And so 90 seconds was my workout this morning. And listen, I gave it my all. 90 seconds. Now you're going to sit there and say 90 seconds doesn't matter. Okay. But listen, when you show up and you start to build trust with yourself, you'll start to show up more frequently. You'll start to show up better. See, the problem is, I'm going to end here. I don't even know if I got where I wanted to go, but I'm going to end here. The problem is you keep telling yourself you're going to do things and you don't. And therefore, when you set a goal, when you set it, you instantly think it's never going to happen because you don't have trust with yourself. And so a ninja mama, you know what she does? She sets a little small goal. She builds trust with herself. She recognizes that, oh my goodness, I did show up. I did show up. Yes, I did. And then she can start to, little by little, add. That's all you've seen me do. Friends, listen, I do 30-day challenges after 30-day challenges after 30-day challenges, and my life is just a building block of the habits that I have done 30-day challenges over, but they become routine. They become so ingrained in my life and in my schedule that then I'm like, well, I got this. Let me tackle something else. And there's so much richness in the little daily habits. Diana, I see you. Come on, sister. The small habits. And you will look back and never will you regret. Never will you regret. And listen, let's pretend you take on a 30-day challenge. You show up, you do it. And at the end of the 30 days, you say, well, that served me. And I don't need to continue every day. Great. Guess what? You showed up for yourself for 30 days. You built trust with yourself, 2 of which will benefit you. And you have now determined that 30-day, whatever it was, challenge or habit, is not something you need on the daily. So you have gained clarity. And clarity is what you want because clarity allows you to move forward in the things that you are after, your pursuit. You will find your purpose. You will find fulfillment. And it all begins with the intention of, you know what? I'm going to start small and I'm going to build trust with myself because I am just as worthy. Hear me. I am just as worthy of what that person has obtained. Because instead of comparing yourself to everybody around you, let it be a testimony to what you could have if you want it. It doesn't mean you do want it, and it doesn't mean you should want everything. What I'm saying is, instead of looking at that person and saying, I could never have that, instead you should say, if they've done it, it's capable and possible for me too. Where you have to get clear is, do you want it enough to go after it and stick with it until you obtain? Okay? So let's build trust with ourselves today. seriously, it starts so small. It could start with the fact that, you know what? For the remainder of April, I'm going to get in my word every day to start my day. That's a great habit. And as you show up in that habit, as you do that, which will not only benefit your person, but your relationship with him, which is the most important, you will build trust in the fact that what you say, you actually do.